Good morning and welcome to Herb Oracle Podcast, botanical divination with herbs, essences, flowers, and trees with your host, Herbal Marie. Let's start the day off pulling some oracle cards and getting a few messages. We can shoot the shiitake in a spiritual way-ish. And if you follow me on Instagram, I'll post a pic of the cards at Herb Oracle. Thanks so much for joining me. Here we go. Manifest more truth. So today we're coming together to watch me attempt to hug a whale, because that is pretty much what it feels like to even think about how I will be able to accomplish this. Think about that, literally. Hug a whale. Is it even possible, right? Because it's like the ginormousness of the whale. It's like, can you really get a good idea, a good experience, a complete experience of what it's like to hug a whale? Like you could hug a fin, you could hug the front of the whale, the back of the whale, you could hug the top of a whale, the tail of a whale, but like, do you ever get like to hug the whole whale? And in a sense, to me anyways, because I'm pretty simple-minded right now, that's what truth is. And that's what a conversation, maybe that's more accurate, a conversation on truth is like trying to hug a whale. You know, because it's like, depending on where you're standing, your perspective could be different, right? Are we talking truth with a little t or a capital T? Are we talking like, tell me the truth, be truthful to yourself, or you can't handle the truth? Are we talking about the truth of all that is? Like, I have a feeling that this ton of cards, I have a stack of books and cards in front of me. I'm having a feeling, of course, that it's going to take us in all directions, as this word absolutely can, right? Depending on what it means to you. But then that brings up the question, like, does everybody have their own truth? Are all truths valid? Or is there only just one truth? See what I mean? I mean, truth is pretty crazy. So anyways, today I'm going to try to hug a whale, manifest more truth with you, and just for fun, I'm doing that on like 3 hours of sleep, right? Because if you're going to do like one of the most challenging podcasts, I suggest you only have 3 hours of sleep. Then spirit can come through you much easier because you don't have a brain left. All right, so anyways, I guess underslept, but I've been trucking along since 6 o'clock this morning. So I wanted to start getting up earlier, okay? And so I set an alarm for 6:06. Well, I mean, my kids, they were up so late. I remember at one point my son scolding my daughters, it's already 2:30. Meanwhile, he's just coming upstairs to get ready for bed, so that was kind of funny. But anyway, so I probably didn't fall asleep till 3. And then when I woke up, you know, you close your eyes and then a minute later you wake up. And I thought to myself, I should just turn my alarm off because I'm not going to be getting any sleep tonight. Well, I actually had slept, and I looked at my phone and it was 6 o'clock. So my alarm was at 6:06. So I woke up 6 minutes before my alarm, which is always a sign to me to get your ass out of bed. Like, apparently your spirit guides are standing around your bed right now, making you wake up before your alarm because you're supposed to get up. So I did. I got up and I narrated an entire chapter in A Course in Miracles, chapter 23, which was all about truth. They use the word truth throughout this whole book. Like, you'll just have to read it. But it's like, you know, it basically, what it was saying today in chapter 23, you can't have truth and illusions. You can't have both. You can't have illusions and a little truth. And you can't have truth with a little illusions mixed in. It gets to the point where, you have to choose which world you want to live in. Do you want to live in the battleground, the battlefield of illusions, or do you want to rise above it and reside in truth? All right, so let that sink in for a minute. So anyways, I've been hanging out with Truth now for 23 chapters in A Course in Miracles, down to the home stretch, getting that project completed. And that is really why I want to get up early, because I have 8 chapters left. And that means I basically could get this book completed if I get up every morning. I don't actually need to be awake to read out loud. Hopefully I'm reading the right words. But I recorded an entire chapter today, and I was barely here. So Spirit just needs me to get up and fulfill my function and serve my purpose, and that's what I'm gonna do. So anyways, today we're gonna manifest more truth, but first, another quickie, because this one is the best story I will tell you all week, I'm sure. So yesterday, after I recorded the Tarot 1212 podcast, I go to Dollar Tree, because every year my kids, I take them there to do their annual Christmas shopping for each other, right? Because for $1 you can buy all your siblings and your parents and your grandma a gift, right? And the dogs and your 2 friends, and you know what I'm saying? Like, we can handle this. And so it's just something that, like, we've just always done. And this year I was kind of thinking, like, well, if they don't want to, I don't want to. But they wanted to, so I wanted to as well. All right, so anyways, each kid checks out. I give them their money to go check out. Well, me being in the store for 25 minutes, a half hour, I, of course, pick up a few things as well. And I go to check out. Guess what my total is? $12.12. $12.12. I literally leave my house after recording the 12/12 tarot spread, drive to Dollar Tree, check out. My total is $12.12. So of course, naturally, I squeal very loudly and then attempt to explain to the cashier dude and the 3 people behind me in line that, oh my God, this Saturday was 12/12, and today I just recorded a 12/12 tarot spread on my podcast, and now my total is $12.12. So anyways, I was the least excited. And yeah, this is why I don't make friends easy, because I pull these stunts at the Dollar Tree. However, do you feel me? That was pretty freaking cool. Welcome to my, synchronistically beautiful world. So anyways, it has 12/12 been stalking you. Hey, it'll be hilarious if you go to check out somewhere and your total is 12/12. Who's laughing now? Yeah, you'll be squealing and being giddy along with me and trying to hug whales. Okay, so let's try to get this whale hug going on. We're going to manifest more truth today, or at least make intentions to do so. What does truth mean to you? Even if something is untrue, you can't keep lying to yourself and make it true. You know what I mean? Like, the truth is truth. What's true for you? Is it really true? Ooh, we could just pretty much drown in this whale hole of truth. However, we'll do our best to stay afloat. I don't even want to count how many cards that I have, because I might quit and go back to bed. So I'm just going to leave them in the stack that's in front of me. And I know that the last book in the guidebook stack that I have in a Season's Greeting loaf pan, I know it has 2 ending cards. So there's a shit ton of cards, you guys. Like an absolute shit ton. So we're going to have to tap into our Herb of the Week, Elecampane, and the Knight of Pentacles with his snail shell. Remember, his helmet has that spiral snail shell thing going on. and we will just Knight of Pentacles our way through truth. Slow and steady. We'll just be disciplined about it. I don't have to go on and on forever. Just giving myself permission to, keep it going. But like Ella Campaign, I am loyal. And I said we were going to manifest more truth. And we are going to do it. This affirmation minute is brought to you by the elegant herb of the week, Ella Campaign. I am loyal. I am on the right path. By being in tune with Mother Earth, I strengthen and heal myself. I allow the energy to flow. I teach my wisdom through my actions, accomplishments, and words. I create the vision and follow it. I am loyal. I am on the right path. By being in tune with Mother Earth, I strengthen and heal myself. I allow the energy to flow. I teach my wisdom through my actions, accomplishments, and words. I create the vision and follow it. So be it. So when you are following your truth, is it easy to stay on the right path? Do you feel like being in tune with Mother Earth is truth for you? So anyways, tell me the truth. Tell me the truth. Well, the truth is I drank over 2 quarts of black tea this morning and had to shit twice. That's the truth. So we can totally make this as stupid or as holy as we want. I think there will probably, with me, there's going to be a little bit of both, of course. But yeah, it is like a very holy word, obviously. And yeah, I guess that's why they talk about it all through A Course in Miracles. All right, but today, right now, we're going to hang out with dragon butterflies. The dragon butterfly on the Enchanted Blossoms Oracle by Carla Morrow. It's on a bittersweet nightshade. And it is a butterfly called a morning cloak. And it's not spelled like good morning. It's spelled mourning like grieving, mourning. Morning cloak. I mean, that's how I think it's spelled. All right, so anyways, let's talk about the nightshade. It's bittersweet. Native to northern Africa and Eurasia. Bittersweet nightshade is an adaptable species that has spread across the world so successfully that it is considered an invasive plant in the United States. I'm not laughing at that. I'm just laughing because yesterday I labeled myself as invasive. Yesterday. Okay. It gets its name from its leaves, which taste bitter and then sweet. But checking this is not recommended as they are toxic. Medicinal uses for bitter sweet nightshade were recorded by the Greeks over 2,000 years ago. It's listed in Culpeper's Complete Herbal in 1653 as a remedy for dizziness, sudden illness, and troublesome guests. Oh my God, Nicholas, you're a fucking riot. The stem of the plant is still used to treat skin conditions. However, the flowers and the berries are quite poisonous. Take care of them troublesome guests. And caution should be taken when tending these plants in a garden. As for its ties to truth, both can be quite bittersweet. All right, so the quest for truth is a journey we all must take and it can be painful. Once discovered, truth can be the compass that guides you through tough decisions and experiences. In your soul, you know truth to be the absolute tenet and personal pillar through which you may effectively govern your life. Identifying these principles means you have a yardstick for when you are faced with difficult decisions or ideas. You can then make decisions accordingly. Your truths will be reevaluated and tested throughout your life. The truths you had when you were younger might not be the ones you hold dear today, but once you find your truth, it is easier to be faithful to yourself. And then it asks the question, what are my main truths today? Now, if there was a radar alarm button that would go off for A Course in Miracles, it would be sounding its face off right now. Because here's the thing about truth and faith. You can have faith in anything. You can have faith in fear. You can have faith in lies. You can put your faith in anything. And the ego can say anything is its truth. So you kind of got to this is what I mean about this conversation. It's like, are we talking about tiny truths, ego truths? Or are we talking about truth with a capital T? Like the truth. So that's why it's like this conversation's like as impossible as putting my arms around a whale. I can try, but I'll probably never be able to hug a whale. Or do a good job at this podcast. But here's the thing. Yeah, our truths change because usually they're not even our real truths. Like, how can truth change? Not like the truth, the ultimate eternal truth, I don't think can change. But yeah, our ego truths can change. Our personal perspectives can change. Yeah, like when I was young, I thought partying it up was a good truth to have. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, the ego could just take this and manipulate it all over the place. So if you kind of are aware of that and you want, like, I really do think that just as a, like, just objectively, you don't have to accept anything the Course in Miracles says as your truth, but if you're a logical, intellectual, discerning individual, I will be very curious to see or hear what you think about A Course in Miracles, because it really does have this whole conversation about truth all the way through it, reason, how like logically, you know, you can't have a little of this and a little of that. And it's a really interesting book. And that sort of makes me think that a lot of this today is going to feel like bullshit to me. The truths you had when you were younger might not be the ones you hold dear today. Well, then were they really the truth? And how about the ones I hold dear today? Are those any more or less valid? Or have I just convinced myself that that's what I think now? That's what I have my faith in. So you can put your faith in anything, you know, and that's why I think it is a lifelong journey for a lot of people to find the truth, right? And then, yeah, once they start living their life like that, like what'd she say? The first sentence pissed me off, kind of. The quest for truth is a journey we all must take. Okay, fine. And it can be painful, which gives you the expectation that it has to be. Yes, it can be, but it doesn't have to be. And even like today, the 9D Arcturian Council, channeled by Daniel Scranton, was talking about roadblocks to ascension. So yeah, it can be painful if you keep on lying to yourself and trying to get your untruths to actually convince you that they are truth, but they're not. And it's like, yeah, we make things more painful because we don't maybe listen to our inner truth, right? So once you start lining up with your inner truth, more of a divine truth, not just what is true for your ego, but actually what feels right, what feels like the light, what feels like the truth, you know what I'm saying? And then I think that journey becomes much less painful, if at all. If at all. If you're in pain seeking the truth, you might just want to stop and check yourself and see what you're actually trying to convince yourself of. Anyways, oh God, here we go. Okay, so anyways, that's the topic. We're going to manifest more truth, maybe. And yeah, that's the thing though. You got to keep reevaluating, I guess, if your truths are changing all the time, what the fuck is that all about? So what are your main truths today? I just feel like if it is the truth, it's not going to be constantly changing. The truth is what it is. And so it's like divine and unshakable. Do I have a microphone to drop? But seriously, you know what I'm saying? Like it shouldn't be such a variable. I don't think real truth is a variable. So maybe this will come up a little bit again and again. All right, moving on. I'm just going to go through each card and terrorize each one. And then at the end, I'll clean off my desk and take a picture of them and put them on my Instagram at Herb Oracle. Now, I'm also on Instagram now, Sadie Cherico, and I am just putting A Course in Miracles quotes on there. So if you're ready to do this with me in 2021, which you got to hurry up and decide because it's already the 16th of December. But you could start with me at any point in the future, whenever you find me. If you found this podcast and I've been dead for 100 years, the invitation is nonetheless still open. You can still journey with me. All right. But for my current present timers, are we doing this? You should do it with me because the Course in Miracles will completely shred and fuck up your reality. And we should go crazy together as we become truth seekers together. So that's our next card. It's actually a hawk. The next card is from the Eco Heart Oracle by Ingrid Kovakanas, and it is the hawk with truth seeker. And it is soaring above. And this just makes me think of chapter 23 in A Course in Miracles. It's like, do you want to keep living in the battlefield of illusions, trying to convince yourself because your ego believes that it has this truth, that it has an enemy and it has to fight? Or do you want to rise above that illusion versus illusion and actually see everything for what it is? Rise above the battlefield like this hawk is soaring above it all. It is the truth seeker. If it was on the ground, it would not be able to have this perspective. It would not be able to see the way it does. So let's just hang out with a hawk for a hot minute here. And the Truth Seeker Hawk card says, as you release that which is holding you back, you will be able to move forward with greater ease. And that's also what the Arcturians said this morning. Like, they're ascending, they're on a path of ascension. Now they're in the 9th dimension, and they're kind of trying to evaluate, well, what's holding us back from being 10th, 11th, and 12th dimensional? So they've got to let go of anything that's dense, weighing them down. And we do too. So what is holding us back from rising above the battlefield of illusion? I'll tell you. Judgment, hatred, like all of these things that our egos just love to devour. Separation, my truth is better than your truth, that kind of BS. That kind of stuff is very dense, and you might as well just have, chains around your ankles, because it holds us down in this reality that is basically a battlefield. We're all fighting, we're all arguing, we're all in disagreement about everything, including what truth is, right? What are your truths? What are my truths? Well, what if there's only one truth? And then all the other stuff is just us arguing about what we think truth is. But really, it's like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? All right, so anyways, this oracle is asking you, what are you choosing not to see? Ooh, so now we're going to venture into, like, are you avoiding the truth? Are there truths that, like, this is more of an honesty, like, tell me the truth. What are you not being truthful about with yourself? See, you can use this word truth in just a very everyday context. See, I'm like getting sucked into the belly of the whale. I'm like that guy that got swallowed. Is it Geppetto? That got swallowed by the whale, right? Because I was like, yeah, I just almost got digested there. But yeah, we could just use truth in a smaller sense. Like maybe you just want more honesty in your life. Maybe manifest truth to you is just like being like, okay, I gotta be truthful with myself and others, sure, but like first and foremost, me. It takes great courage to see the truth of a situation that is holding you back and then to release it. So if you can look at your densities, your judgment, your limited belief system, what are you putting your faith in that actually is holding you back, right? It takes a lot of courage to look at that, be honest, be truthful, and then release it. So you can call on Hawk when you need guidance in seeing the truth. As you release that which is holding you back, you will be able to move forward with greater ease. So it's like you almost have to rise above like the hawk so that you can see the truth of the situation, so that you can move forward with clear vision and a peaceful heart. And it's like that should kind of be your main indicator. Do you have peace in your heart or not? That should be the one great deciding factor as to whether something is truth or not. Truth comes with peace. And if you don't have it, become the hawk and take a good look at what's going on and be truthful with yourself. Hey, I will be the one to absolutely tell you that it is not the easiest thing to admit to yourself, of all people, that you may have been convincing yourself and believing and putting your faith in something that really is not the truth. And then you kind of have to just take a step back, float above, and be like, all right, God, Holy Spirit, all that is, source, please show me then what is truth. Let me experience truth. Maybe it's not even something that we see or like we have to know it. We have to know truth. But yeah, I would say absolutely truth comes with peace. And if you don't have peace, you might want to question your quote, 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 truth. All right, so question your truths. All right, now we're going to hang out with a flower fairy from the Nature's Messages by Angela Crutchley. Is it true that there are fairies? Are fairies your truth? Well, the 90 Arcturian Council said that fairies are real, but I haven't read anything about it in A Course in Miracles yet. It's like a spell checker, but a truth checker. Like, do you ever try to compare and be like, well, maybe if I can get all my belief systems to agree with each other, then it will be the truth. And if you can feel the humor in that, then you're going to be able to dismember your ego rather quickly, because that's what it does. It's like, if I can get everyone to agree with me, then this will be the truth. And that's what most people are wasting their time on a daily basis. I want to get everybody on team this, because then we'll prove that team that is wrong and we hold the truth. So that's what I'm saying. You got to watch, because this truth is a sticky trap when it's the lowercase truths. And the ego is having fun with it. So it's like, well, what truth are you really after? Let's see what this chrysanthemum says. This is a white chrysanthemum. And I just said the word, was that just last night? Yeah, chrysanthemum last night, because at bedtime, actually it was kind of past bedtime in a way, I recorded a herbal tarot, the Ace of Cups, and it was lotus, and I think the herbal ally was chrysanthemum, one of them, hibiscus and chrysanthemum. And so yeah, I just said it last night, and so I was already kind of appreciating chrysanthemum for shining light, offering light. So if light is truth, if love is truth, if peace is truth, then absolutely chrysanthemum is a perfect flower to be on this truth card, because isn't that what you want to shine out? All right, let's see what this is all about, though. Let me open it up. It's purple, violet around the edge, and it's a white chrysanthemum. And it says, the fairies support the petals of truth to unfold. So, unfolding of truth, the journey of truth. Let's see. The name chrysanthemum is said to have derived from the Greek words chrysos, meaning gold, and anthos, meaning flower. The chrysanthemum in some cultures was symbolic of the sun, and the unfolding of the flower's petals represented perfection. Just as the truth is always revealed in time as situations unfold. Yeah, that saying, like, you can't hide from the truth, or you can't hide the truth, or the truth will always be revealed. That kind of stuff. Years of cultivation have produced a variety of colors, and as with many flowers, the different colors convey different meanings. So this is a white chrysanthemum. The color white symbolized and reflected truth. Ooh, so choosing this card indicates that, like the flower, you are advised to be patient and allow the truth to unfold regarding a current inquiry, or situation around you. You are asked to open your heart, open your mind, to allow all your senses to feel and hear any hidden or any related hidden or partial truths. I'm going to terrorize that. Partial truths to enable clear vision and insight to guide you. So yeah, partial truths, like, that should be your indication. Like, there is no such thing as partial truths, but that's what the ego tries to do. It's like, well, here's a little bit of truth, but I'm not going to give you the whole truth. And nothing but the truth, so help me God. And it's like, that's why sometimes people's journey to truth and peace and God is long and arduous, because like, they go to church and they think like that's where they're going to find their truth. Well, yeah, they'll give them little nuggets of truth or something, but it like never gives them the experience of truth, of love, of peace, of knowing God And so then the journey just continues, and yeah, it gets very painful. So partial truths are not good enough, right? So you need the whole truth to enable clear vision and insight to guide you. And that's whether it's on the little t or the big T. I mean, do you want your husband to be partially truthful with you? Really? Like everyone just got fired up. Like, no, motherfucker, you need to be like super duper truthful with me, like 100%. And isn't that what you want to be towards yourself and others? And like, you don't want to keep just giving yourself nuggets of partial truth. Eventually, spiritually, we want the whole truth. We really do. So this card also asks you to always seek the truth within yourself, being honest with your emotions and intentions. So yeah, I mean, that's also another indicator on our truth checker. Where are you looking for your truth? Outside of you in the land of illusions, or inside of you? Because it's going to be very difficult to find complete whole truths outside of you. So that's why you gotta go within. You gotta go within. All right, here we have another bird, a bald eagle on a beautiful card. It's number 12. Hello, 12. It's number 12, Truth. This is the Shamanic Healing Oracle deck by Michelle Motuzas. What's up, Michelle? I love your deck. Number 12 has a message of truth. So I'll read this and then I better go eat some crackers or something to keep us going on this Wednesday where, hey, we have been doing so fantastic, manifesting more good stuff this year of 2020. And yeah, we want to manifest more truth. And we don't want to get sidetracked of like debating what truth is and whatever. Like, I don't care what form it comes in. Like, let's manifest more truth. But let's try to keep it authentic and complete, not incomplete. You know, it's like, let's keep it heart-centered truth, not ego-centered truth. So anyways, unless we've somehow magically and miraculously gotten our egos to align with truth. Now, is that even possible? That could be a whole other conversation. All right, here's number 12, the eagle. So we've had a hawk, a fairy, now an eagle. We all started out with a butterfly dragon. All right, number 12 says the eagle proudly surveys its domain from such a high perch that all pertaining to this situation is revealed. And that's what the fairies were saying too. Like, sometimes if you just have patience, the truth will come out, right? Like, people have to confess. Did you ever notice that? Like, the truth is like, it just wants to come out. Even scoundrels will eventually confess. They will. They just have to tell the truth. I'm just thinking back to like after you break up with a boyfriend and then it's like, okay, I have to be honest with you. I have to tell you the truth about something. And you're just like, ah, shit. These scoundrels, they have to tell the truth. They really do. Now, anyways, the eagle says, once you can remove yourself from the muck that lower vibrations keep you in, you can attain a viewpoint that enables you to see the truth of the matter. So yeah, we gotta rise above. This card advises you to search for the truth of the situation, regardless of the emotions it brings up. Are you or someone connected to you unconsciously suppressing the truth, hiding from the truth can only intensify the lesson later on. So yeah, I mean, you can't hide from the truth, I guess. And really, like, it doesn't feel good to lie. Like, if we're just talking about truth in the honesty sense, you know, not being truthful can really eat you up. You can suppress it and try to make it go away, but it's always there. And yeah, eventually it comes out. So anyways, I like the part of this card that says rising from the muck, you know, because it's like, all right, so anything less than truth, we really got to get out of. We got to get out of the muck, and we got to fly with the eagles and the hawks and be able to see clearly. All right, so clear seeing. That was cracking me up as I'm walking around the house eating a mozzarella stick with my eyes half opened, like I'm laughing. Clear seeing. Oh my God, I might have to take a nap. Might have to take a 4-hour nap today. All right, so the heater's on because it's freezing in here. So sorry about the sound of that. This next card, I always think this woman has a fruit basket like on her head, but it's actually flowers now that I am seeing clearly. And this card is very interesting. It's from a deck called Awakening to Your Divine Self, and it's wisdom and love from your fearless sisters. And this was so unique. It might be a little difficult to find now, but it's how many artists came together? Like a lot. A lot of artists came together to make this deck. And so each one did its own little write-up. I'm trying to think how many there are. Anyways, it's kind of an interesting deck. And so all the art is different. And it's a great, but it all has awakening to your divine self as the theme. There's 39 artists in this one deck. So yeah, definitely a co-creation, absolutely. And everyone shared their love and wisdom and yeah, what truth was to them, right? All right, so let's go to the truth card. So what's really cool about her, she's got all these colorful flowers that seem like fruit for whatever reason, but they're actually flowers instead of hair. She doesn't have hair, she has flowers for hair. And she's real prim and proper, actually, like it's a shorter haircut, and she has a pink shirt on that has like a lace doily collar and then some buttons. Like when I say prim and proper, yeah, like wow. And she has a butterfly, a blue butterfly on her throat. So this is a card that symbolizes speaking the truth. This butterfly is on her throat chakra. So here we go into truth. Let's see what the guidebook says. There is but one truth, your truth. That is all that matters. Pause. So yeah, on the one hand, I agree with that because I've put my faith into that statement and I've always thought that. But now that I'm older and have a different truth, which seems to be more of like I want to know truth, like whether that's the truth of Mother Nature or the earth or a great spirit, God, source, all that is. I would say that's the one truth. And whenever I line up my truth with that truth, now we're talking truth. But for the sake of conversation, all that matters is your truth. Be true to who you are, what you love, and what makes your heart sing. So yeah, I mean, I love that. Be true to who you are, what you love and what makes your heart sing. There's your truth checker right there, your heart. Live your truth in every action you take. Speak your truth and allow your true essence to shine through, because there is no one like you. All right, it goes on to say, do you realize that every quirk or eccentricity you try to hide and bury down deep actually is what makes you the amazing and unique being that you are? So open up to who you really are and share it with the world. So that now we're venturing in to speak your truth, live your truth, be who you are, shine your light. So this is the card for anyone who's been feeling stifled or silenced. This card wants you to speak up and allow your truth to rise up and move through your throat chakra. So sing, chant, and speak gratitude and love. Open yourself to your deepest truths and allow them to be expressed through your voice. As the heater chills out. Ugh. It's like a love and hate relationship with the heater. Like, I need it, but I hate it because it's so dry. But I need it because it's only 60 degrees in here. So anyways, do you feel stifled, silenced? Do you feel like you can speak your truth? Right? So sometimes we got to get past the roadblock in our throat so that we can open up and speak the truth and all of that. Anyways, I like that once again, another card about truth uses the visualization of rising above. What did it say? Speak up and allow your truth to rise up and move through your throat chakra. So there's a lot of rising up. Let me turn this off here. Turn off the heat. There's a lot of rising up when we talk about truth. Whew. So that should kind of like give you this analogy or visualization that truth is high in frequency. Truth is high vibration. Truth is not lower density bullshit. And it doesn't matter how many times you repeat it, it's not going to be the truth. You can rub shit on the wall and call it paint, but we all know it's poop, right? It's like you can't lie to yourself anymore. You can't convince others of untruths anymore. Like, truth will be revealed. Truth is very obvious with that disgusting analogy. The truth is very obvious in that situation, right? That's so gross. I don't know why I always think that every once in a while. Because like when someone's just like trying to convince everybody of a truth that is an untruth, obviously, it's like, listen, honey, you can rub shit on the wall and call it paint, but we all know it's poop, okay? Okay, Grandpa. All right, so anyways, speak your truth. And how do you know if it's the truth? How do you know if it's your truth? Well, does it make your heart sing? Does it feel like love and peace? That would be the indicators. Okay, so the next card kind of goes along with this. Is, I can't remember what this deck is called off the top of my head. Yes, I know it now. It's the language of letting go. And there is no guidebook with this. I love decks like that. So on one side, there's like this patchwork fabric portrait of this lady, but you can see other people around her, but they're kind of cut off. So it's really just this lady that we're focusing on. And it says, standing firmly in my truth. So yeah, there's other people around her. There's other opinions. There's other, quote, little truths all around her. And that's why it's like, you got to have courage to rise above and stand in your own truth. The truth. or just, I guess, what is true for you. But be honest with yourself. Be truthful with yourself. Make sure it's of the highest good. Standing firmly in my truth. So this is the language of letting go. And there's an affirmation on the back, and it says, today I will acknowledge that my knowledge, feelings, and beliefs are all mine, and they're just as valid as anyone else's. I am open to learning from others and their experiences, but I will stand firmly in my own truth. There you go. Completely riddled with ego separation, but that's what we like to hear, right? I want to stand firmly in my own truth, and that is how you live your life. That's how I live my life. That's how I maintain my sanity in this ego's playground. Like, I just can't go along with the crowd if it doesn't feel like truth for me. If it doesn't feel like something that's right for me or true for me, I have to stand firmly in my own truth. And I expect everyone else to do the same. And, and that's just the same. That's just the thing. Like, that's the way it works here. So anyways, that's what this card is about. It's also saying, like, listen, all truths are valid in a way like that. So it's like you got to respect what other people feel like is their truth, and respect and honor them to have that experience, to go down that road, to venture their journey in that direction, even if it's in a different direction than yours is right now. Like, eventually, I think the joke is all roads lead to the same place, right? So we can say that we have different truths, but ultimately there is only one truth, and we'll probably get to discover that, I'm assuming, at some point. All right, so anyways, standing firmly in my truth. That's another way to look at this manifest more truth stuff, especially because it's like, if like you are hanging out with a bunch of Looney Tunes and they're all getting ready to walk off a cliff, it's probably really beneficial to you to stand firmly in your truth and say, because you've opened up your throat chakra now with the flower head lady, and be like, you guys, like, this doesn't line up for me. The thought of walking off that cliff does not make my heart sing, and I'm going to have to stand firmly over here in my truth to not follow the crowd and to do my own thing, because I have to honor my guidance system within me. So anyways, that's where our truth conversation is headed so far. Might be a good time to make some tea. And we have our next two cards are from the same deck, which let me tell you what that is. It's the Messenger Oracle by Raven Felon. Or is it Falon? I don't know, it's hard to tell, but I know how to make tea, so let's go do that. And I guess by making tea, that meant a large glass of water with 3 squirts of St. John's wort tincture in it. All right, I just want to be honest and truthful with you. I don't want to lie in this podcast. Not when we're trying to manifest more truth. I'll go straight to hell. All right, I am so almost insane. It's fun for me. Okay, we're actually going to do 3 cards, because as I laid this owl and this magical elf lady who's taking off her mask that says reveal your truth. Like, she has this brown boring mask, and underneath she's fantastic. Like, she's got like beautiful mermaid scales and a heart on her forehead and pointy elf ears. I mean, she's magnificent, but yet she's been hiding her uniqueness under this clay dirt mask. So anyways, the mask, then I look over at this affirmation card, what is it? The Healing Energy Oracle by Mario Doguay. I see that he uses the word mask. And I thought, well, we'll do this as well. His card says being true. I am true to myself and others. I remove my mask and stop creating illusions. I have confidence in who I am, and I revel the good in me. Or is it reveal? Maybe that's reveal. Sometimes I think those words are spelled the same but used in different contexts, but this could be I reveal the good in me. Yeah, that makes even more sense since we're talking about removing masks. I do not need to hide or prove anything. I replace shame with the power of love and truth. So currently, of course, this is going to be interesting for 2020. You know, yesterday we go to Dollar Tree. Everybody's putting on their masks, right? My whole body's freaking out, rejecting my mask. But my kids were like, please, Mom, don't embarrass us. Just wear your mask. Like, sometimes it disappoints me that like me as such a rebel, my 3 children are so going along with whatever, but it's like, anyways, nonetheless, I'll put on the mask, but it's like, what are we perpetuating? Like, if you really believe that the truth is that these shoddy masks will, you know, help keep you safe, then that's your truth, and we're supposed to honor that. But are you perpetuating an illusion with these masks? Now, of course, this is not what these cards are talking like, take off your mask and show everybody who you really are, you know. But I just want to talk about this like legit here, like hands-on, like with what's going on, just for a second, just to piss off at least 75% of everybody listening in. Like, what illusions is it possible that we are perpetuating? Well, the Course in Miracles would answer that, saying that, you know, we're perpetuating the idea that we are vulnerable, that, you know, we have to protect this body, where maybe another person might say, yeah, us putting on these masks are really showing that we have little faith in God and protection and a divine plan. Like, even if you're not religious, don't you feel like there's a divine plan for you? Like, what makes you the orchestrator of this divine plan? Like, why do you think you have so much control over what happens? You know, it's like, if you believe that there's a divine plan for you, and when you're supposed to die, you'll be dead, okay? Like the thing is, it's like, why is this making everybody feel like they have so much control over what happens? You know, and then look at what it's doing. It's perpetuating the illusion that we should worship our bodies, and that above all else, our bodies are the most important thing. Honey, that's ego. That is your ego. That's basically denying you as a spiritual being. You're saying that your body is the most important thing, that you are nothing without it. You have to stay here on this earth. Like, do you see what I mean? So it's like, yeah, like, you could just like be all like, well, we're just trying to stay safe. Yeah, but like, there might be like a bigger picture that is really starting to upset a lot of people. We're covering up our greatest gift to the world, our smile, our ability to communicate, our ability to remove our mask and show who we are. You know, it's like, in cultures that have people cover up their face, yeah, like, that's like a hide who you are type of thing. That's like, you know, control and manipulation, and like, it kind of makes you wonder. It kind of makes you wonder. Now, I understand germs. I'm a nerd. I get it. But I'm just also saying, I feel like a lot of people are being triggered, and maybe with good reason, depending on what they hold true, on what their truth is. So nonetheless, we'll carry on because, all truths are valid here today. Now, energetically though, as a analogy, if you're always hiding behind a mask, a fakery, acting out a personality, acting out a role that you play. It's Halloween. On days that it's not even Halloween, you're just pretending to be something that you're not. Or putting on a mask kind of just to please other people. Like you're putting on the mask of mom, of wife, of whatever you do at your job. You know what I mean? And like I've often noticed this because it's like we might act differently around different people. We might have like 20 different masks that we can exchange and put on and change as needed, right? Like there's certain friends you act different with. Like, well, which is the real you? Or are these all just masks? Who are you really? And that's the question that we're asking ourselves today as we manifest more truth, so that we can go into that inner journey and discover the truth. And then we can be true to ourselves and others. We can be the Knight of Pentacles in Ella campaign and say, I am loyal because that is my truth. And we can be honest and truthful and remove our, quote, masks, literally or figuratively or whatever you're comfortable with, and stop creating illusions. Having actual confidence in who you are. Not only having the confidence when you put on the mask. Although I have that experience too of like, I love hiding behind a mask. Like literally, like I do think it's fun. Like in Halloween, you can put on the mask of the Wolverine and become the Wolverine. Like what is that permission slip all about? But even if you wear the mask of the Wolverine, are you still going to know who you truly are? I think that's the ticket too. It's like, all right, so we'll play the roles out. We'll get on stage. We'll put on our masks, whatever. Don't lose sight of who you truly are. You actually don't need to hide or do this unless you want to. You don't have to prove anything. So anyways, no more shaming. Replace your shame with the power of love and truth. I'm just going to let that sink in for a minute. Because there's so much shaming that goes on a daily basis. Wear your mask or you don't care about people. Right? That's shaming. But yet it is justified because it is of the ego. And the ego justifies attack in the name of its truth. All right, I am so far into the belly of the whale. I'm going to find myself in the colon. And I'm going to come out the whale's shitter any minute. Okay, card number 39 has a beautiful owl that's holding this, it looks like a lighted Christmas ornament with a Celtic knot on it, and it says, see the truth. So it's almost like a hypnosis thing, or like a thing that you'd hold out like a pendulum, but it's a disc. It's really fantastic. It's holding it in one of its claws. What kind of owl is this? Is this a barn owl? It's real. It's got a round face. It's really cool. And it says, see the truth. Do not be deceived. Be watchful and mindful of the illusions others weave around themselves, and that you may weave around yourself. Know the night. understand the shadows. See through the darkness to the light of the truth. Pay attention to contradictions. Notice when actions and words are not in harmony. Hone your intuition and insight so that you may know the minds and hearts of those around you and yourself. And trust in the wisdom born of that awareness. And so that's ultimately how we all are to be guided in our lives. Like, does it feel right to you? I don't know if you should wear a mask or not. All I know is it literally revolts me. Right? And what kind of person would I be to myself if I tried to ignore my feelings, my intuition, my wisdom? Because in my core, in my wisdom, I know that I am an eternal being. And there is nothing that can, quote, hurt me. And I understand that I am more than a body. And so I don't feel threatened. So it's like I'm like personally, like I have to, of course, be respectful to everybody. But also at the same time, understand the shadows and the night and see through the darkness and acknowledge when things don't line up, when they don't feel right. And use my own set of night eyes, like the owl can see in the night. You have to use this vision that even when it doesn't always make sense, you're being guided. Like logically, I get logic, right? Wear your fucking mask. But it's like there's something else in there too. There's a different wisdom sometimes that wants to be heard. So anyways, that's the message from the owl. Hone your intuition and insight, right? So that you can see the truth. You can hear the truth. You can recognize the truth. You can feel the truth. Ooh, the word is sense the truth. It's not even about our bodies once again. It's not about our 5 physical senses. It's about sensing the truth. Our truth spell checker, you know, it's like, what are the indications that this is truth or not? It's a sensing. It's definitely a sensing. So anyways, the other card is the lady with the mask, and she's taking it off. She's revealing her truth, and that's what she wants you to do. Reveal your truth. When you were born, your soul shone bright. As you grew, you were taught of right and wrong. You were taught how to think, how to live, how to believe in a way that makes you fearful to say no. To disagree is to risk alienation from family and society. So you hide your true thoughts and feelings behind a mask. That mask hides your light. Cast it aside. Embrace and live your truth, and let your soul shine once more. So yeah, this can be taken very everyday-ish. You know, it's like people are afraid to tell, like for example, a gay person might be fearful of telling their parents that they're gay because they were brought up to be this way and that way. Do you know what I mean? And so, like, think of all the people. We'll just use it for that because that's a pretty easy to understand situation. So they pretend to be somebody they're actually not. So personality wise, this happens all the time. Putting on the mask. Maybe one, because it just seems easier, right? Two, you don't want to be kicked out of your family. You don't want to be looked at, in judgment. So you hide who you truly are. This can also apply to situations, low self-esteem or insecurities. It's like you are fucking fabulous, but you never ever let your light shine for whatever reason. Maybe you were just told to sit down and be quiet as a kid. Maybe you're not sure if people can handle you or will like you. So you hide your light. You hide your love. You hide your silliness. You hide your truth, behind a boring mask. So she has a very boring mask, and she's actually just exquisitely gorgeous, right? But she does not shine her light. So anyways, the message is from truth today, absolutely. And all these beautiful cards so far is to be true to ourselves and shine our light. Remove the mask. Remove the mask. Stop creating illusions. Okay? Stop creating illusions in your life. It's just step up and be like, if it ain't the truth, then I don't want it. If it ain't true for me, then I don't want to play this fakery anymore. I only want to represent the truth. I am the light. I am the love. I am the truth. I am. At the core and heart of everyone, that is what exists. That's the capital T truth, right? So let that infuse in all aspects of our lives and all the little truths, and stand firmly in what we believe to be right. And that will have you step into a perfect place of power and love and truth, and not power over others, not ego power, the confidence of who you truly are, power, the power of truth. Truth doesn't have to defend itself. Truth just is. You can't argue with truth. I mean, the ego can try, but yeah, it's a great place of power to stand in, because the truth is just is what it is. Oh my God, are you still here? Can I just take a quick human break here? I want to tell you my favorite song. Well, this is how variable my truth of what my favorite song is. It changes all the damn time. But my favorite song today, and I want you to look it up, okay? It's called Don't Wanna Be Your Friend. Okay? And it's and so type in Don't Wanna Be Your Friend, and it's Mi Casa, like Mi Casa es su casa, Mi Casa, comma, and then euphonic, which is spelled EUPHONIK. Euphonic. Anyways, I fucking love this song. It's so happy. I love it. It's saying, I don't want to be your friend. I want to be your lover. But it's so good. You will thank me. And then after that on my playlist this week is Fleetwood Mac, Everywhere. All right, and that is back to my hardcore shit. All right, so anyways, we're trying to manifest more truth today. And really, we shouldn't have to try to do this. We really shouldn't. If we just rise above, the truth should show itself. It just is what it is. All right. Now, but that whole mask thing, that got me thinking about, on the back of that card, there's a pentagram, and my one friend who's really been drawn to nature, witchcraft, Wiccan stuff, has to like basically hide it from her husband because he thinks that, that's the devil's stuff, because he's, quote, Christian, even though every day he comes home and drinks himself into oblivion. He's a good Christian like that. And she basically has to keep this mask on. And I'm just watching it unfold, thinking to myself, that mask is going to get very heavy. Like, how much longer can you pretend or hide or lie or keep your witchy books hidden in the drawer? You know what I mean? It's like that kind of stuff that whenever you hear like live your truth, it's like, listen, you do have free will here and you're allowed to do whatever it is you want to do. So I really hope that everybody does get that freedom of expression to follow their truth and, at least go down that road. She might, like, the thing is, what makes me sad is like, all of our different roads are going to lead to the same place, but I just hate to see people feeling like they can't go exploring, because I've pretty much gone down all the roads, right? Just like what's like, how do you eat nowadays? Well, I've followed every single diet known to man at least once or twice, so like, what's my true diet? I don't know, right? But it's like, at least I gave myself the experience of trying it all out. So I'm not here to say like what is truth and what isn't. I want you to manifest more truth in any way that feels right for you. And I guess that's like kind of like when I look back at maybe what was true for me at the beginning of this podcast, like the first 100 episodes, I am a different girl now. I'm becoming a different girl. Like, I guess in that sense, my truths are changing, but maybe it's also that I keep on dropping the, quote, truths that don't feel true as I get closer and closer to the ultimate truth. Just saying. Now, that's I guess a good lead into our next card, maybe. It's called Higher Self. So it's like, yeah, we've got our like egos and our personalities and right, our sexualities, and this is my truth, I'm living my truth, right? But like the true truth would be who you are, would be your higher self. And that's kind of like what bugs me about us all getting crazy about our bodies. Like, that's not you. It's your vehicle right now, but your body's not who you are. Look at how much it's changed over your whole life. You literally morphed from a little tiny baby into a kid, into a teenager, into an adult, into like, look at all, like, which one's you? Which one's the truth? That should be evidence itself enough that you are not your body. So I think that is the real truth, is a constant. The truth that is the big truth. All right, let's see what this card says. This is Sonia Choquette, and it's called Ask Your Guides. And this is number 21, Higher Self. Think about who you were when you were 21. Definitely different from 42, that's for sure. So this book is pretty cool, and it probably will have a perspective that we haven't covered yet, I'm guessing. So let's wake up and read Higher Self. This is all about honesty, clarity, discipline, and intellect. Your higher self is present, activating your powers of reason and intellect. It asks you to develop clarity and objectivity when looking at your life, rather than interpreting events through the murky and distorted waters of emotion. Strive to see the reality of what happened in the past so you can acquire a more accurate understanding of what's going on. You may notice things that make you uncomfortable or challenge your ethics. So ask your higher self to give you the courage to stand up for your truth and address difficult situations at their core, rather than distance yourself or pretend you don't see the real problems because they make you uncomfortable. Like the child in the fairy tale, the emperor's new clothes. Your higher self is motivating you to not only see life more deeply, but to also share your perceptions with those around you. So yeah, if the dude is naked, don't pretend like he's got clothes on. You're not fooling anybody, right? That is such a crazy story when you think about it. That's society for you. Like, oh, nobody wants to look like the one that is different and be the one to say, he's not wearing any clothes, right? The child in his innocence, in his connection to truth and his higher self was the one who said it. But look at how many of the adults kept on going on like morons, just going along with the story, going along with the narrative, because they didn't want to be the ones to have courage to say differently, to speak their truth. And that'll lead us into our next card, Joan of Arc, the voice of truth, who says, stand strong, focus on your purpose, release the fear of persecution, and speak your truth. Right? Speak your truth. Nobody's going to burn you at the stake again. So anyways, just to go back to the higher self card for a minute. She says, this is the time, for example, to address your unbalanced budget and to look for ways to cut corners. So there we go again with like the truth. Like, if the truth is you're broke as a joke, don't keep using your credit card in denial, right? It's like sometimes you have to just be like, all right. You have to be like, hey, the emperor has no clothes on. The bank account has no money in it. We've got to curb our spending. We've got to, tighten up. And maybe you'll have to be the one in a relationship to be like, hey, honey, we are digging ourselves a hole here. And then you're the one who has to manifest more truth just in your living situation, in your communication, in your conversation. She also says it's also the time to acknowledge your ever expanding waistline and seek out what's really eating at you. So she's saying too, it's like you have to sometimes be truthful, what's really going on. This is when you need to step away from your emotions and dispassionately study the problems at hand so that you can come to a solution without blame and without projection. So if you want to manifest more truth like this, ask yourself what the problem is, not who the problem is. Okay, it's like, what is the problem, not who. Although it's always in your mind who. Right? You've always got a target on somebody. That's how the ego rolls. Only then can you begin to find real solutions with productive outcomes. Your higher self is sharpening your perception and clarifying your view so that you can make important and necessary changes at this time. So she really kept it down to earth, didn't she? I was kind of expecting more from this guidebook. A lot of these oracle makers have not read A Course in Miracles, and it clearly shows. But anyways, Carl Jung once said, when the diagnosis is correct, the healing begins. So yeah, all untruths can be easily corrected. Absolutely. But you have to be able to look at them sometimes and recognize them as an untruth. And then correction, then healing begins, then the undoing begins. And your higher self's message is, look for the truth behind appearances. So yeah, sometimes you got to use your discernment to look for the truth. You got to look behind people's masks. You got to look behind the appearance and see what's really there. So that's Joan of Arc too. She's saying, focus on your purpose, right? Be the voice of truth. Stand strong. Release the fear of persecution and speak your truth. So don't be afraid to say what it is that you need to say. So if everybody is being just so ridiculous and pretending like the emperor is wearing clothes when he is butt naked in the middle of the room, you're allowed to say, express yourself and speak your truth. Dude, put on some clothes right now. We are tired of looking at your junk. And that's saying a lot coming from me, because I haven't seen anybody's junk in forever. But all right, that's for another day. All right, let's hang out with Joan of Arc. Do you want to hang out with Joan of Arc for a minute? She was a medieval French peasant girl who is reported to have been visited by Archangel Michael and some other saints, and they gave her information on how that she could help Charles VII save France from English domination. So that's the story. She was only a teenager when she went into battle for her country and won a huge victory. Like, I literally cannot get off of A Course in Miracles, but I'm just going to skip over the whole battlefield thing that I just read this morning. But really, it's like, I love you, Joan of Arc, but if I could just speak my truth, what the fuck were you thinking? There is no winning in battle. Like, okay, good, you saved France from English domination. Well, it didn't prevent England from dominating America. So what was the point of your battle? She's literally just staring at me. Yeah, I guess it was your truth at the time, but maybe you should have read A Course in Miracles. Okay, so anyways, she was, however, later captured and burned at the stake, which sucks. These days, she is a supremely loving guide to all those who want to stand up against the odds. She also helps many light workers overcome their fear of persecution. And she can also help a lot of my witchy girls too. It's like, if you really tap in to that energy of being persecuted, and it is a very real energy to experience. And it's not just Joan of Arc. It's not just the witches and the healers that were burned at the stake. I mean, think of all the persecution that has happened collectively. No wonder people are afraid to speak the truth. No wonder, when you really think about it. It's like, even though like we're in America now and we're the land of the free, God bless America, it's still ingrained in us that we can be persecuted for defending the truth, for speaking up for the truth. And yeah, so that's why a lot of people will just stay silent. Yeah. So anyways, Joan of Arc is coming in so strong, encouraging us to stand strong. You may feel unrecognized, you may feel misunderstood, but that doesn't mean you have to give up on the mission that you feel called to fulfill. So whatever it is that you feel like is your purpose, your function, your truth, stay strong. Don't give up on your mission. You must follow the will of your soul and exercise your leadership spirit by speaking your truth. You may feel as if you're on a battlefield, but this conflict will come to an end as soon as you stop defending yourself. So this is from The Keepers of the Light by Kyle Gray. And he actually may have read The Course in Miracles because, yeah, like you can't defend yourself energetically without being involved in war and attack on the battlefield. You need to get the fuck off the battlefield. You need to become the eagle. You need to rise above. So Joan of Arc says, you are not here to prove yourself to others. Instead, approve of yourself. So you don't need to prove yourself to anybody. But what you do need to do is approve of yourself. Love yourself. Know yourself. Know your truth. And know that your angels are on your side and that heaven is thanking you for being the honest soul that you are. So yeah, once you line up with like your truth, because it is the truth, it's fucking amazing how all of a sudden you can feel the energetic support of angels, of fairies, of Archangel Michael, of the Holy Spirit. Because it's like now that you're on the path and you're lining up your will with the divine will of Source, oh yeah, it gets real easy to follow your truth and speak your truth. It gets real easy. All right, on that note, introducing Archangel Michael. That was a nice roll in. I love it how like the cards just sort of organize themselves. Good, because here's Archangel Michael with a unicorn. And he's also holding up a, what kind of bird is that? It almost looks like those birds from Australia. That's what it looks like. A blue bird. Merry, merry, the voices he laugh. Kookaburra, a kookaburra, kookaburra laugh. Kookaburra, save some gum for me. I think. Anyways, admit the truth to yourself and act accordingly. So a big old honesty topic with truth, being truthful to yourself. Absolutely. And here's our prayer with Archangel Michael and the kookaburra and a unicorn and a dove of peace in the sky. And then all around him are animals. Deer, looks like a mountain goat, a couple mountain goats, and a few deer. And yeah, he's just holding up his blue kookaburra. I'm guessing that's what it is because it's got a really long beak. Maybe it's a fisher. Maybe it's a fisher or one of those birds that dive in the water. This will bug me now. I'll have to look this up. I'll have to look up this bird. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. Yes, I can. All right, here's our prayer. I appreciate your support in helping me face my feelings with grace and acceptance so that I can be lovingly honest with myself and others. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for giving me courage and strength. So that's a pretty cool way to look at truth too. Like sometimes it takes courage and strength to stand up for truth or follow your truth. But then if that truth is truly truth, it will mirror and reflect and connect and expand and extend back to you that which it is, because it is truth. And then you have more courage and strength from lining up with the truth. So that could be like another indicator, like, is this really truth? Well, does it give you courage and strength? Do you feel supported? Do you have a sense of peace and grace and self-acceptance and like love? And it's like you got to tune in, and that's going to definitely guide you. So, all right, I'm looking outside. It's finally starting to snow. Apparently we're getting a snowstorm today, but I was starting to wonder where the snow was. It's coming in. It looks nasty, but beautiful. Okay, 3 cards left in front of me, and then 2 in the holiday loaf pan. Can you hang out that long, or push pause, come back tomorrow? All right, so this next card is from the I Ching. It's called the I Ching Wisdom Tarot, maybe, but it's not actually a tarot deck. I found this at a bookstore that was going out of business at the mall, and it was like discounted, and I think I had $9 and some change, and that's exactly what it was. And I was like, cool, you're coming home with me. So it has an inner truth card, and this will be short and sweet because it doesn't say much. Excuse me. There's 2 dudes that are like by a ship that's come up to the bank, and the sail is down, and I don't know what's going on here. Like, one guy's in a red robe, and he has his hand out to the right, and he's facing another guy that's in like a bluish robe, and he has his hand on his heart and out. So like they're connecting. Ooh, like maybe it's like when something really does feel true to you. Did you ever notice how your hand naturally goes up to your heart? Like when something like legit resonates, like this is my soul's truth. Bam, hand to heart. Do you ever do that? Or like when you're having satsang, or like sharing a moment of truth with somebody? I think that's what's going on here. Maybe one guy is saying to the other guy something that really resonated with him, and he's following his truth, and bam, hand on heart space. The heart chakra just magnetized your hand right to it, like boom, this is your truth. Pay attention. Maybe that's what's going on. Either that, or they're making a deal about wooden crates. Okay, inner truth. So, yeah, there is always there's 3 things, ABC: the image, the meaning, and about a relationship. So this is a very simple deck, but I like it. So the image is a merchant consigns his goods. The hexagram stands for truth, trust, and sincerity. Now, the meaning of this card, number 61, is truth, trust, and sincerity works for both sides in attaining a successful outcome to any venture, which requires mutual cooperation. If obstacles persist, look within the self for any wayward intentions or actions. So if there's something not working out in your life, look inside yourself and see, well, are my intentions pure? Am I being truthful? Is this truth for me? Am I the obstacle for this being a success? Like sometimes, yeah, that's the inner truth. We have to be so self-reflective and figure that out. Now, if we're all good, then probably the truth will surface somewhere else. But the message about a relationship, how it applies to that, is earnest and trust leads the way to success. So being truthful is the way to go if you want to successfully collaborate. You guys know it. I don't have to tell you. If you don't have truth in a relationship, it's not going to last long. It'll go to shit. It should. It better. It will. It does. You know, and sometimes the truth can be hidden for a long time, but then eventually the other person will sniff it out. Or the other person will just confess, because, people just cannot not tell the truth. They just have to get it out of them, because anything less than truth doesn't feel good. So now we have our next two cards, and they are both from one of my favorite decks, the Soulful Woman guidance cards, maybe. I don't know Soulful Woman guidance cards by Shushan Movesian and Gemma Summers. And this is another one of those decks that it was a collaboration of different artists. So there's all type of artwork in this deck, and they're gorgeous. This is one of my favorite decks, you guys. And we got 48 and 8. So 4 plus 8 equals 12. And then there's 8, the number of infinity. And even 12 can be reduced down to 3, which always reminds me of the heart and Trinity, and yeah, it's a good number. Anyways, all right, so 48 says, following my truth. And this is a woman with her eyes crystal clear and open, and she's got an owl, another owl today, with its big old round eyes. It's not missing a trick. And she's following her truth. And she says, believing in and following my inner truth helps me live an authentic and empowered life. And then the next card, number 8, her eyes are closed and she's going within. And she does have a white bird on descending down into her third eye. It's really fantastic. They're both so fantastic. And her card is Soul's Truth. And she says, I listen to my soul's simple truths and allow my life to unfold naturally. All right, so we're in this podcast for the long haul, so I'll just open up the guidebook, because if we're going to do this, we might as well do it. We've made it to the end, and let's hear what following my truth says as my mom is texting me. Hold on, is it starting to snow there? Yes it is. All right. Sorry, Mom, I'm trying to follow my truth by doing this podcast 100% the way I can do it. I'm trying to hug a whale, Mom. I don't want to be half-assing truth, okay? We want to manifest truth. Oh, no, she says, I just had an upsetting experience because I found a live mouse in my mouse trap. Oh, no, I might have to call her. He chewed practically one leg off. Ew. So she did set him free outside because he was still alive, but he'll probably end up back in my garage. Oh gosh, Mom. My mom's a vegetarian. Like, she's been a vegetarian my whole life. And I'm surprised she can even, like, she'll squash bugs and set mouse traps and whatever, But yeah, she's got a point where she's like, damn it, I can't squash the mouse with my foot, or drowned it. Mommy could have just drowned it, but hey. Should I tell her that? Oh geez, exclamation point. I probably would have drowned it, but you have a heart of gold, exclamation point. Yeah, okay. Well, anyways, I don't even set mouse traps because I don't want to catch them, but it's like I have had to in the past when, like, mouse poop is, I guess, not good to have in your house, or they'll chew the wires. That's actually a more reasonable reason to get mice out of your house, is because they might actually make it electrically dangerous for you. But yeah, no fun. No fun at all to have to do any of that. And then you don't want to poison them. Look at the owls looking up at me saying, hey, why don't you tell them about the rat poison? Yeah, you don't want to poison them because then, like, they're poisoned mice now. They'll probably go outside in the middle of the yard to die. And then the owls will eat them. And then they're eating the poison. So rat poison, that kind of stuff, that's no good because then the bigger creatures will eat the rodents that are poisoned. So yeah, what's your options? Mice traps that squish them, hopefully the first time, or sticky traps. Those are just as bad. Then you'll really have to drown them. I know, it sucks. All right, so anyways, following my truth. Let's see here. My inner truth lives in my heart like a pearl of great worth. It is a divine light illuminating my life path and steering me in the right direction. When I follow my truth, I feel a deep sense of integrity, congruence, and wholeness. My truth may be different to someone else's truth, and that is okay. I do not have to prove my truth is the only truth. I only need to live it. Through following my inner truth, I develop extraordinary faith in myself and strengthen my personal power. My life expands spiritually and creatively. Things have a way of working out for me. More and more, I understand what it means to respect my inner truth and stand for it. I listen to what others have to say and I observe their actions, but I do not follow their guidance unless I get a yes from within. Otherwise, I wait for further illumination from my inner being. I always come back to trusting myself and my own truth. Believing in and following my inner truth helps me to live an authentic and empowered life. So yeah, and at some point you got to give yourself the truth of observing yourself. Am I living an empowered life or am I not? Am I following my truth or not? And you'll know by the way that you feel. And how do you know how you feel? You got to go inside and listen to your soul's simple truths. And then you allow yourself to be guided. You allow your life to unfold naturally. Like seriously, when you line up your truth with the big truth, everything unfolds so sweetly. My soul is moved by simple truths and authenticity. The path of the soul can be different from that of the rational mind, and it can take longer to reveal itself. Today, I listen to my soul. I ask myself, what do I really want? What do I really need? Whether I am at the beginning, middle, or end of a phase, I embrace this moment for the wisdom it brings. I allow change to occur naturally. I wait to see what unfolds, what shows up for me. I give space to the unknown and to myself. Intentions and goals can sometimes be a list of shoulds and must-dos, but soul speaks a different language, one that's free of conventional agendas and ideas. Therefore, I am willing to take time to simply reflect on and appreciate where I am right now, rather than feeling I need to push to create something new. I listen to my soul's simple truths and allow my life to unfold naturally. All right, I just took a break. I hope you've taken lots of breaks. What a freaking podcast. Of course, I never thought it'd be easy to try to hug a whale. I mean, I came in knowing that this was going to be interesting. How'd I do? We still have 2 cards to wrap it up. But yeah, I feel like I've been all over the whale, under the whale, inside the whale. Like right now, I'm probably hanging out the whale's butt. Like, be a friend and give me a hand here. Pull me out. Let's get away from the whale. I'm done. But anyways, I still got truth for you and universal truth. And yeah, it's definitely, this conversation can literally go on and on and on. Because even when I took a break and I decided to have some decaf, like, yeah, I'm underslept and whatever. I don't really think like caffeine is what I need for my day today at all. Like, I'm just not going to go there. I could get super jittery. So anyways, I'm drinking some instant decaf, probably the worst stuff there is for you. And I'm watching the snow come down and cover the roads. And I'm thinking, oh my God, like, I wonder if my car is going to be good on snowy roads and whatever. And then I just went off on a tangent, because that seems to be the theme today. And I thought to myself, well, here's the snow. They were right. The weather forecast was correct. Like, now it's starting to snow. And then I kind of thought, like, how much of that is them telling us an expectation and then getting so many of us lined up with it that we literally bring the snowstorm to us. And then I just was like laughing, because I was like, I don't know, Sade, how much truth is there to that? So this truth conversation could go on and on and on, I'm sure. But, you know, the whole point for us to coming together today was to set some intentions to manifest more truth within ourselves. And I really do feel like when we get things going on inside of ourselves, then we have more of it outside of ourselves. You know, so if you want more truth in your life, if you want to manifest more truth in your relationships, in your experience, in your spirituality, in your honesty, and your business transactions, whatever, you got to start inside job, you know? You got to go inside. All right, so we're going to end with universal truth, a really beautiful mandala. But before that, we have an equally beautiful card, not really, but hey, all truths are valid, of a really cool painting from, this is the Power Deck by Lynn V. Andrews, and the artwork is by Rob Schoten. And this painting that I'm looking at is entitled Touchstones of Eternity. And they're these big rock boulders. It depicts a sacred place through which one can stay in touch with the universality of mind and spirit. So this is an ancient Celtic shrine built as a sanctuary and a place to divine one's inner truth. So there is a sphere of earth that's behind it. Like he works in these earths and spheres all through his paintings. They're really cool. I love these cards. We're going to work a lot with them next year with our triple power-ups for 2021. So look forward to that. This earth, though, it represents the universal mind as brought down to earth by the antenna of the giant stone monoliths, giving balance to our earthly consciousness while helping us define the truth of our own being. So speaking of monoliths, Have you seen the ones that are popping up all over the earth? Yeah, what's up? That's our brother. That's from our brotherhood in the sky. You'll have to check them out. I think they're calling them monoliths. They're like these real tall, shiny metal things that just seem to be doing nothing right now. And according to Blossom Goodchild, check out her channelings, they are going to be activators at some point, and balancers, and frequency transmitters, and communication devices. They're just not active right now. Now, of course, they're writing it off as artist pranks and this and that, but I think if what I understand is there's going to end up being so many of them, it's going to be kind of hard to dispute what the hell's going on. So keep an eye out for that. All right. And also, keep an eye out for finding your own balance in your consciousness. So truth brought to us through the stones is a South teaching. So as we study the medicine wheel in Native American medicine, it's a South teaching to learn through the stones. Stones have great memories of the history that has surrounded them. This teaching is in the South, as stones are part of the earthly foundations of truth. So don't you just want to go cuddle with your rocks now? I still sleep with my my smoky quartz at least 5 nights a week. I just love it so much. And yeah, I enjoy its energy, and I let it enjoy mine as well. Hey, don't argue with me. It's my truth. All right, so this card is, yeah, it's depicting what I just told you, these big old stone monoliths, and it asks you a question. So after all our hangout with this whale of a tale of truth, trying to hug a whale, looking at truth from all these different angles and perspectives, the question is now, the remaining question is for you to answer. Are you living your sacred truth? Are you living your sacred truth? Your being is like a spirit lodge. Within this sacred place inside of you is the realization and the divine light of your creation. So if you are the spirit lodge, live in your spirit lodge, surrounded by peace and joy. So yeah, outside of you, outside your lodge, is the great wilderness where the rest of the world lives. But that wilderness can become a battleground, stained by the blood of ignorance and earthly pain. Are you catching a theme with this, you guys? It's like if you're constantly going outside of you in search for truth, all you're going to be doing is wandering the battlefield. If you're ready to get out of the battlegrounds, you either need to rise above like an eagle or go within to your spirit lodge of peace and joy. To have lasting power in the world, you must earn the trust of those around you. Most people live without trust and without a sacred place within. They live without a spirit lodge. And as such, since they are living without that, they do not know how to enter the spirit lodges of others. So, you live within your sacred truth so that you will know peace and joy within yourself and in the great wilderness and beyond. So before you can know peace and joy and love in another, you have to find that sacred truth within you, your soul's truth. Then we can step into our last card, universal truth. Oh yeah, I did plan this to be our last card because when I read it in this little guidebook, It's printed by US Game System. I was like, oh, you're going last. I don't care how the other cards go. I didn't organize those, but I was like, you're last. You're the caboose, universal truth. And so here's how we end today. You have found a new level of truth within yourself. So spend some time to allow it to touch into all aspects of your life. So as you build, create, discover this sacred spirit lodge that you hold inside you, your place of power, your place of peace, your place of joy, these unchangeable truths, allow that truth to touch into all aspects of your life. The truth rises to meet you. Be open to it. Being truthful with yourself opens more than you know. Creation is a universal truth, and it is rich within you. The truth is the doorway to the evolution you seek. The truth will lighten the spirit and draw you in to greater awareness. So there we go. Let's exit out of the whale's ass and go live our lives with truth, because that's who we are going to be. I am the light. I am the love. I am the truth. I am. We don't want to just believe it. We don't just want to have faith in it. We want to know it. We want to know it. So anyways, you guys, there we have it. Manifest more truth.